A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Peter Chebe Live YouTube streaming platform. It's a very chilly Friday evening here at Jamlock Sports Center in the county of Machakos, the country of Kenya. Shots for the consequence of the loss of 2,000 US dollars. These two amazing shooters from their respective countries are racing to 21, and winner to take the money, the loser to go home empty-handed. The first time that the two shooters faced off against each other is a match that I streamed some 1.5 years back in the year that was 2024, towards the very end, actually December 2024, at Billiards Cafe in Lusaka during that classic comp that was won by Eden. The tourists to 16 for 1,000 US dollars, and that match was won by Joseph KASOZI. In this one, KASOZI won frame number 1, Ishmael won the next 2. We shall be having partial commentary because there is too loud music in the background, so every time that I'll be silent, every time I will not be commentating, there will be total silence because it risks the video, but most importantly the streaming platform, because the music is highly copyrighted. It is Ishmael trying to right the wrongs, trying to better his performance after really disappointing yesterday, to say the least, when he lost out quite bigly to Tanzania's Abdallah Hussein in that race to 21 for 3,000 US dollars. That one ended 21 frames to 19. He has been the star of the show. He has been involved in almost every match that has been happening in this tour that has been happening now in its third week. He has been taking on Ginte, and then Ibra, and then Ian, and then Dog City. Now Joseph KASOZI, Ishmael MTHETHWA, and the other Tanzanian players. For now, it is 2 frames to 1. Ishmael leading the race to 21 for 2,000 US dollars. Our umpire of the day is Dante. He has those red dogs, but he's a very, very respected umpire. He has been officiating in so many events that have been streaming in Kenya for the last 2-3 years, especially the Grand Mchana and the Timbuktu International Carnival. He also officiated a tournament in Uganda. It was the first edition of the ATA Africa Super 16-man Cup that was won by Caesar. Meanwhile, dear viewers, after Joseph KASOZI winning the first frame, he has now lost the next 3, and in the 5th, he has scratched on the break. Looks like Ishmael will be the player that will be faster out of the box. Maybe he's the player that is having the better start of the two. Maybe he's the more hungry player. Maybe he's the more lucky player. Maybe he's the stronger player. What is very clear, he's the player seemingly going to take the lead from the start. Please keep me company. I do expect this action to go on for the next 3 hours or so. Both players can decide to be attacking players, and they can decide to use good attacking speed. Yesterday, Ishmael did try very many tactics. They did not work out. I want to believe that today he will resume his offensive game. He's mainly known for being an offensive player. After the scratch on the break, after the free shot, dear viewers, the table does remain open. Clearly, Ishmael will want to go for the reds. 6, perhaps 5 of them they are in number. The only problem ball of the 5 is maybe the red that is close to the corner pocket bottom right. If you were to play it in a direction, maybe the yellow may affect his pattern. That is the yellow that is behind that red. Ishmael now closes the table. The South African is playing reds. He may be losing his pattern here. The only portable red on the table as we speak is the now that is leftwards of the 3. The position of the black disturbs the red that is in the middle. Maybe he wants to play red into yellow, then put the red and manipulate the red he's playing well enough for it not to be a dead ball. Red into yellow. He doesn't put red, but the shot was relatively well played. For KASOZI, of course, he's going to be playing snooker here. He's been away from home for the last 4 weeks, a full month, and perhaps still counting. He played 4 money matches in Tanzania, now managed by Q Masters in Dar es Salaam. He won twice against Abdallah Hussein for $4,000 total pot. He, however, lost against Amadeus, then had a match played not to completion against Steven Jackson. And I know that for some of those players, there has to be resumed business between the Q Masters player KASOZI and the other Tanzanian players who come from snipers, who are big rappers with Q Masters. As Ishmael comes out of the angle and finds the red, though he doesn't pot, you get a feeling he holds the upper edge for victory over the frame. KASOZI may want to play safety again. How safe will he be? He goes for the pot. He just narrowly misses out on the target. The guy that is called the sharpshooter, officially ranked first by the Polo Association of Uganda, and is one of very few players to have held that title for 2 years in succession. That is 2026 and 2025 in Uganda. Ranking positions are held for the whole year. Ishmael has been South Africa 1 once in the year that was 2015. The 2015 South Africa #1 gets himself snookered, and you get a feeling that the safeties by KASOZI may have paid off. He will have to find red off the cushion, and will have to play the shot to effectivity. Maybe if he plays well enough, that red could go to the corner pocket. Stop. He's going for the side pocket. Simply avoids the foul, but of course gives the cue ball away to KASOZI, who now gains pole position for the victory of this frame. The umpire is Dante. He's telling the players that they are free to lift the cue ball by themselves. KASOZI is not comfortable with that. He wants the cue ball to lift it only by the umpire, so the players can as well have a discussion between themselves. The umpire is telling them, you can lift by yourselves. KASOZI is normally not comfortable with that, and you are listening to someone that has been swimming more than 100 matches of his in the last 3 years or so. Dante is talking to both KASOZI and Ishmael. Clearly what KASOZI wants is for the players not to lift the cue ball by themselves from the bed of the table in case there is a foul. I've now been informed that what the players and the umpire were disputing was not what to do when having two shots, but was rather whether there was a foul or not. And I've been informed that the umpire to tell KASOZI, like signifying the gestures of his hands that go on, he was saying that there was no foul. Still, the chance is with the Ugandan, managed in Tanzania, playing in Kenya, to take the win of frame number 5, which will be the second for himself. Will be playing the yellow cross to the red first with a little top spin. The cue ball to is going for the back spin. It is equally effective. There is a cut between white and yellow. He may want to have the cue ball played around the black, try to put both of them in the same corner pocket. It may have been his intention. It's a shot he has not played well enough, in my opinion. Now needs a very sharp cut of the black. This one is KASOZI on an unforced error in the match. To go down at the shot badly played, a shot that gives Ishmael some kind of hope that he could be playing again in the frame. It is possible to have a cut. Looks like KASOZI feels maybe the hands are stitchy. He's going for a right cut, wanting to put black to the corner pocket. Bottom left has to be careful with the cue ball. Where is the cue ball going? The cue ball is safe. The black is sunk. The frame is won by the Ugandan. It is Joseph KASOZI now 2 and Ishmael MTHETHWA 3. Race to 21 for 2,000 US dollars. Apologies for that little internet glitch, guys. I believe that you are now watching a video as clean as you would wish to watch. For those that are just joining the stream now, it is action between Ishmael and MTHETHWA. The star of the movie that is happening in Nairobi, it is just him. He's been the movie himself. Everybody has been wanting to have a piece of him. He has played, I think, something like 20 money matches also, and he's not tired. He has played thrice against Ibra. He has played 4 times against Dog City, 4 times against Ian. He's playing against KASOZI. He played against Abdallah Hussein yesterday. Hussein is asking for 4 more money matches. And of course, other Tanzanian players who will want to have a piece of Ishmael before the tour of Kenya ends. The music is so loud, guys. That is why for our usual Facebook family, we are not doing a Facebook stream today. Facebook is so unfriendly when it comes to loud music, and the reason why KASOZI is holding play is requesting management to turn down the music a little because he says he simply cannot concentrate. 4 frames to 2. Ishmael is in the lead. Actually, Ishmael did quite bad. He could very easily have been leading by 5-2. Looks like a chance he blew away to win what will be a 5th for himself. I also don't think the shot KASOZI has just played has been well played enough, because he's leaving chance for Ishmael to bank the red to the side pocket on the right. The cue ball shouldn't have moved that kind of distance. Ishmael will be treating this one as a realistic chance. That is off the cushion on the left, off the yellow again. That one would have been something of a very special shot. The South Africans know how to manipulate those ones. That is off cushion and off opponent's ball. It just came a little too short. As for KASOZI, who will be winning the 3rd frame out of 7 to leave the match hanging in the balance, to make it realistic. He'll take the victory for himself, for Uganda, but most importantly for his management team, that is Q Masters in Tanzania. As for Ishmael, not signed up under any management. Sometimes he plays from China, sometimes he plays for Jamlock. He is a freelancer for any management that decides to work with him. The Q Masters guy is clearly taking frame number 7, porting yellow to the side pocket on the right, the other yellow to the corner pocket bottom right, and then black to the center pocket for what will be KASOZI's 3rd frame 1. This one Ishmael will have to slap himself in the face for coming so near and yet so far from taking the frame, which is now KASOZI's frame. It is the Ugandan on 3 and the South African on 4 in a race to 21 for 2,000 US dollars. Thank you for watching. Cindy Munawe. We cannot have sound throughout. I cannot do commentary throughout when there is a lot of music. I can't leave. When I'm silent, I have to completely mute the video, because if AI detects a song, they can slap the video or the streaming platform, the channel itself. So it becomes so risky. But when there is commentary flowing over the music, it does confuse AI not to identify the song. That is why, yes, so far, besides the little in the match, the yellows are clearly the better position balls. Clearly, it has to be yellow. And that's support the one that is packed at the corner pocket, simply to make sure that he's closing the table. The cue ball has been played with a little bit too much power than he would have wanted, but still can't put the yellow that is on the left of the cue ball. And the one closest to the cue ball as well could be potted to the corner pocket top left, but by cheating the pocket a little bit, which creates some kind of uncertainty. He's still a little bit out of sorts, because what he wants is to win the frame and win it by reverse dish, by not accepting Ishmael to step foot on the pool table. He has gotten to miss for Ishmael an opportunity to try and right the wrongs. Try, take the frame, pay back for the frame that he was not able to win, which should really have been his. That was frame number 7. Choosing to play tactical Ishmael here. So the pots of Ishmael's raids now has this big bank shot to try and play off the cushion on the left into the corner pocket bottom right. How good will it be? It looks in. Yes, it is. Has sight of 2 of the yellows, but can decide to come off the left cushion and play yellow into yellow, put yellow by connection. Here's what he's doing, but will not be fortunate with the position of 1 or 2 of the yellows in relation to white after the shot was taken. He may have to play defense again, to play not a pot, but leave the cue ball right at the bottom end of the table, which is what he exactly does. It could be a foul. He survives. The shot is legal. 4 frames to 3. Dear viewers, Ishmael MTHETHWA leading against Joseph KASOZI, racing to 21 for $2,000 here at Jamlock Sports Center in Machakos, in Kenya. Tomorrow, same time, Ishmael will be rematching with Abdallah Hussein for a bigger pot. There was a discussion of either $4,000 or $5,000 pending agreement from both of the players. And then on Sunday, Joseph KASOZI and Ishmael will rematch at Mchana Papa Grill in Nairobi. And again tomorrow there is agreement, at least verbally, for Dog City, the Ugandan, to play against Tanzania's Saif Hamad. So highly likely that tomorrow we could be having 2 money matches instead of 1. In fact, the money match between Dog City and Saif could have been played today. Just that Saif opted to play at a very different where Dog City's sponsor wanted the match to have happened. Now, if Ishmael doesn't get the red on target, could be risking losing the frame. He seems a little off target, just a little off target. For KASOZI, this will do. He may be having the position of the black, that is KASOZI, to worry about, not the yellows. Has to go with the one that is portable with the ease. I'm not so certain he has full sight of the one he's trying to play. This is a little risky, but it pays off. It doesn't pay off. His intention at the end was understandable. Play with the backspin, play the cue ball into the black, split the black open, and then go for the frame. Was unfortunate to not to have guided the cue ball well enough into the black. He only guided it into the pocket. A scratch. It is a chance for Ishmael to take the frame away. He has mixed results against Ugandan players. Ishmael, he has played 4 races against Dog City in total, losing. He has actually played 4, losing 3 and winning 1. He has played 2. He has played 5 races against Ian, losing 3, winning 2. He's played 4 races against Ibra in total, winning 2 and losing 2. We are not able to have the race between himself and Caesar because of reasons that were explained earlier. He's now having his second turn against KASOZI. KASOZI himself doesn't have exactly a very good record against South African players. He lost a race against Jerry in Kampala. He also lost the second live final of the Patriarchs Pool tournament in Harare last year to the South African, that is Aiden Joseph. As Ishmael could be winning what could be a 5th out of 8. It is tricky here. He's going for some kind of backspin. He has played it well enough. In fact, so well now. The red that is left towards of the 2 perhaps is the one he'll be playing next. Looks like it has a passage into the side pocket on the left. Another backspin by the same player off the cushion, moving rightwards. This is poetry in motion from the South African, who will be playing perhaps stop effect on the key ball to remain at around that same position where there is the red as well, spins it backwards and will want to put black to the same corner pocket. He has spotted the red for the South African Ishmael to record his fifth, and there he goes. 8 frames played. Joseph Kasozi 3 and Ishmael MTHETHWA 5, race to 21. Now, from my observation, the Ishmael that is playing today so far can head start the Ishmael that played yesterday, and the Ishmael that is playing today can still beat yesterday's Ishmael. Today is calmer because he's more composed. He's having less unforced errors. If I can count well, it's just 1 unforced error so far in the match, and is more clinical than yesterday. Maybe he stands a bigger chance of winning today than yesterday, but he's playing against a guy that has a very strong heart for victory. One of the players that have the hugest amount of belief in themselves, those that I know, is Joseph Kasozi. He believes he can take down anybody, and of course Ishmael is anybody. If Joseph Kasozi is to take him down, at least not in frame number 9, which is as well perhaps being won by Ishmael. The guy is manipulating the cue ball so well today. That was the right amount of spin, right amount of power, of course on target, and on target for the black as well. Frame number 9 goes the way of the South African. It is now 6 frames to 3, race to 21. And thank you for watching. Also, James, you say for Kasozi it will be a miracle today. He still can win. He can. If Ishmael wins, it will be victory number 2 in a row against Kasozi. And as for Kasozi, he's open for business for any of the players that are in Kenya, including Kenyans, Tanzanians, South Africans, and this I can tell you, Kasozi is open for business against fellow Ugandans as well. You have to take note that now he's managed by a Tanzanian management team that is Q Masters. So even if it is Dog City or Ibra or Ian or Sula, if they want action against Kasozi, he is open for business. Katerega Patson, thank you for watching. You're asking how these people, yes, you are reminding everybody to like the video, guys. Please like the video, just like Katerega Patson has done, because we are just over 50 have liked, and yet we are hundreds watching from near and far. Watching Kasozi trying to win a 4th before the elapse of the first quarter of the match, which has been an Ishmael quarter. 6 frames to 3. The Ugandan is down. He's missing balls here and there. Save for a few frames. He's just not been at his best so far. And of the two players, clearly Kasozi needs something of a timeout here just to recompose himself. Maybe call his manager, Peter and Timber, just to give him words of inspiration. Just wash the face, just sip some water. Those are just some of the formalities that these players do. Just think about what he has been doing well and what he has not been doing well enough to refocus, recompose, and re-strategize for the victory. Otherwise, it's quite risky him letting the lead of Ishmael grow bigger in the game. The cue ball is at the top end of the table, behind all yellows on the same table. For Ishmael, all we'll do is have a ball played on target, and he could be going for a 7th out of 10. He's going for the diagonal corner pocket bottom left, and yes, it is on target. Another ball, which yes, thank you for watching. Bills, you want yesterday's umpire? Madam Umpire, some fans want to see you on the table.
Hello everyone.
Please talk to him.
Hello everyone. Good evening. Thank you for watching Peter Chove live.
Okay, there is yesterday's umpire. She's called Julie. Charles Bobbins as well. Thank you for watching. That was just for fun. And Timothy Kasango, you think Kasozi can't win because he's unserious. Not that he's unserious, but clearly he's not playing to his very best. He's nowadays way more respected on the international scene. He has not won an international competition, at least in the singles, but he reached the second live final of one of the best organized competitions I have ever been part of. Ops, the Patriots Pool tournament in Harare last year. He lost out in the second live final to Aiden Joseph, and by the way, took both of his lives at least to the semi-finals. That is his best ever performance in an international competition, and he's, I think, the only player that took 2 prizes because of having 2 positions in the top 8 of the tournament that had the majority of the best players on the African continent. In the team category, he was part of the Roxbury team that won the Q Masters International Carnival in Dar es Salaam last year. And he was the team leader then. Maybe it is one of the reasons as to why Q Masters now, because they were the organizers, they were tempted to sign him. Nowadays he's playing for them. But for the first quarter of this race, Kasozi has been outplayed by Ishmael, who is extending his lead from 3 to 4. It is Ishmael 7 and Kasozi 3. Also, James, thank you for watching, and Ricky Mobile Solutions as well. Doreen Katusime, you think Ishmael will want to redeem himself? Of course he wants. And by the way, it is very rare. Since the start of this tour, it is only once that Ishmael has lost 2 matches in a row. That is the first 2 against Dog City. Since then, he has been losing 1 and winning 1, or winning 2 straight. Otherwise, it's just yesterday's game that reduced his profit. The guy was starting to run away with the profit from the tour. Hey, my doctor, you said there was space for the rail ride. Yes, there was some space, but it was also quite risky because there was space, but yes, the space was quite small. Charismatic 9197, you said just know that with Ugandans it's personal, and Ish knows that as he stands for South Africa. I don't think it's personal. It's just him hunting for money. He's actually friends with Dog City. He's friends with Ian. I'm not so certain he's friends with Kasozi. He's also a good friend of mine. He's a very good guy. He's also full of fun, full of vigor, very happy most of the time. But on the table, he's a monster. It is irrespective of how we can be friends with you. On the pool table, he does mean business. And who wouldn't? When you traveled from your home country to become resident in Kenya, a home far away from home, He has already now been christened. I've been informed that he's called Mheshimiwa Njuguna. Now Njuguna is a Kenyan name, then Mheshimiwa is a honorable. So they are calling him a honorable, and a honorable because of how good he's playing. For once, we are seeing KASOZI winning a frame for the first time in the second quarter. This one will be him taking it to 4 with one visit of the table. The Ugandan that is nicknamed the sharpshooter is winning a 4th, and there he does. It is 4 for Joseph KASOZI and 7 for Ishmael MTHETHWA. Tamale Humphrey, Sapin KASOZI, thank you very much. And Wilbur Moremi, you said the sad part is when you are playing with the best and you will be blamed as if you don't want to win. Yes, sport is sometimes unfair, but yes, fans and everybody does blame. They do apportion blame when victory doesn't come. And guys, once again, most especially those that normally prefer to watch from Facebook, today we are not having the Facebook stream because of the very loud music, which Facebook is extremely uncomfortable with. 7 frames to 4. Ishmael leading against KASOZI. Another chance for KASOZI. Maybe this one will be his quarter. Let's see how good it goes. Playing the second race against Ishmael, having played the first coming to 2 years ago in Lusaka, won by Ishmael by 16 frames to 12. KASOZI will be having revenge on his mind. He's been one of the stars of the show for the last 1 month, playing matches against every winning player in Tanzania. And I'm not even certain that after this tour he will be going home to Kampala. He could be returning to his workplace in Dar es Salaam at Q Masters. And some of his Q Masters teammates are talking about coming to join the party. That is Royd and Kelvin, 2 Zambians respectively. If they came, things will start to get a little too exciting. It all started with 2 money matches between Ishmael and Ginte, and then the Ugandans joined in. Now the Tanzanians have joined in. There is already a South African, of course, a Malawian, who was in the foil, and Ginte will be returning anytime soon. Now, if it's Zambians joining the party, it's even more reason to keep yourself hooked here, guys, as KASOZI is hooking himself until the 12th frame. Maybe he's trying to rediscover his very best. He could be winning 2 frames in a row with a single visit of the table. He of course has to play the yellow that is bottomwards of the 2, then play the cue ball in between the 2 reds with top spin, bounce it off the cushion just a little in between the reds, and that will do. You get a feeling he will want to play and put both yellow and black to the same center pocket on the right. A little top spin. The cue ball follows the yellow a little, but it is so close to the black. It could even be touching black. The umpire Dante will come to inspect the distance between white and black, and he rules that there is some distance, as little may be, like it is not touching. In a straight shot, I doubt what he's even trying to achieve off the cushion. He was never going to put that. The chance returns to Ishmael to win the ongoing frame. And here comes the South African Zim with 6 reds on the table, seemingly want to play snooker, wanting to play safety. Not safe enough. I think KASOZI has some little sight of the black. That's what is having Ishmael worried a little. He may play it with power. He's likely to play it into one of Ishmael's reds. Off the cushion, KASOZI goes into the yellows, into the reds, plays them in more space. It's a frame that I want to think now is heavily poised for Ishmael to win because of the position of the black. packed at the corner pocket, but not perfectly occupying the pocket. There is space for Ishmael to pass the red, the one that is close to the cushion at the bottom. Another red is possible as well. He's going for a clearance. He's going for number 8. He wants redemption. That is redemption of funds lost to Abdallah Hussein yesterday. And he really, really wants Hussein bad. Hussein did tell me yesterday in a post-match interview that he's going to play against nobody before he plays 5 races against Ishmael. And Ishmael says he has no problem with that. In fact, on one of the social WhatsApp platforms that we share with him, that is the WhatsApp group of Michana Pool Club, he told guys that were pulling his leg in the morning today that at the end of the 5 races between himself and Dula, you will be saying, hard luck, Dula, you played well in the first race. And here he is. I'll go to his button B. Of course, the would be worrying ball is the red that is packed. That is close to the cushion on the right. Ishmael has just missed a ball not expected whatsoever. Yesterday there were a few unforced errors like that, unexpected misses, which cost him the match against Dula KASOZI. Perhaps having little sight of the black, he could see it, he could play it, and he has spotted it. Maybe he has gotten back what belonged to him anyway. The frame goes the way of the Ugandan. It is Joseph KASOZI 5, Ishmael MTHETHWA 7, race to 21 for $2,000. It is 8 frames to 5, dear viewers. After, with one visit of the table, Ishmael cancelling out the frame that KASOZI won last. The rest remains 21 as Joseph KASOZI plays combination, getting to open the pocket, getting a little too unfortunate with the keyboard almost touching a red. Remember, on an open table when two balls of different color are potted, the table remains open. That is why KASOZI is now going for the yellows. Looks set to respond to apple with apple, respond to fire with fire. Just one problem yellow, not even a big problem yellow, the one that is close to the cushion on the left. It's perhaps the ball. He will play after one more. This is very good pattern play. At one point I thought that it would be bad yellow, should have been played prior. KASOZI is indicating that he's the business guy here. He's the one hunting for the 2,000 US dollars. He's the one on the verge of replying to Ishmael's apple with KASOZI's own apple. He has lost the cable a bit. He's leaving a huge bridge, a very high bridge, because white is so close to red. Should have move the white ball a little more bottomwards. The bridge is that high, and KASOZI shoots on target. The sharpshooter 6. The die had 8. Apple after apple. Race to 21. Here comes the sharpshooter, ladies and gentlemen. If he can somewhat win this one, he will be within one frame of Ishmael for the first time in a long while in the match. Actually, the last time he was within one was when the score was perhaps 3 frames to 2. And needs something special here. Seems to be having it himself. The yellow that is right of the 3 is portable to the center pocket on the right. A simple roll gives him natural white for the second yellow, the corresponding center pocket on the left, which will be rolling with the keyboard following the yellow all the way. And just like that, we'll have to play the same exact skill, the keyboard to follow the yellow, but bouncing off the cushion a little, just like that. It's beautiful cueing from the Ugandan that has the choice to put black either to the side pocket on the right or corner pocket to play. Goes for the corner pocket with power. The black is in. That is the reason he's called the sharpshooter. Another frame goes his way. Joseph KASOZI 7 and Ishmael MTHETHWA 8. The rest remains 21. Frederick Chomba, thank you for watching. You say you like the guys handling the table and you thank them for being extra active. Yes, they are, of course, very disciplined. The crowd, they are. There are 2 tables close to the action table, and everybody is deciding to keep that table open in respect of the money match that is happening to the main table. Hey, my doctor, thank you for watching. Seemingly supporting KASOZI. Charles Pavins, thank you for watching as well. As you watch Ishmael breaking, getting to pot 1 yellow, leaving the table open for himself, but not easy. closing the table now, most especially if you were to go for the yellows. It's the color pose that looks to be more space than the reds. That's why he may even not support the red he's looking at now. He may just play legal. 8-7 after 15 frames. As we now head into the second half of the second quarter of this big money match. Jamlock Sports Bar and Restaurant, our venue, with KASOZI aiming for the red. He does get to close the table now. He's shooting more confidently, I have to say. Of course, the confidence that comes with winning a number of frames, most especially those that were consecutive. He was down by 4 frames when the score was perhaps, I think, 6 frames to 2 or something. Since then, he's been playing better. After that very good start from Ishmael, KASOZI seems to be somewhat running the show now and does have the work of putting 2 reds and then the black. You get a feeling it is finishable with some kind of ease. We'll start with either of the reds, especially the one that is rightwards. The one that is leftwards has a yellow that is close to the red, could disturb the backward movement of the cue ball. But he's okay. The red is cuttable. He could as well play the cue ball into the black or the yellow close to the black. There he goes. He avoids contact between white and yellow or black and has played so well. The pot of the black will be a formality. For the very first time, ever since the second frame, the Ugandan and the South African are drawing. Actually, the last time they were drawing was when it was 2 frames when the score was 1-1. For now, it is 16 frames played. KASOZI 8 and Ishmael 8. I'm really loving the level at which this match is starting to be played. Is clearance after clearance after clearance. It is starting to become reminiscent of the match between Dock City and Ishmael. the one that was won by Ishmael by 21 frames to 19 last Sunday. 9-9 between KASOZI and Ishmael, heading into frame number 19 here at Jamlock Sports Center in Machakos in Kenya. Representing Q Masters, Joseph KASOZI, having proud support of Tanzania and Uganda, representing South Africa and Zimbabwe and Kenya is Ishmael. I want to believe that the rest of the fans are neutral, just enjoying the action as it comes by. Umpire Dante will be rocking a frame for the 19th time. The players will want to ensure that the rack is as tight as possible. Black at the black spot as KASOZI hits the pyramid, gets support one red. The table is open. Yellow is spotted as well. It looks finishable, very finishable, very palatable. He has really broken big. No reason as why he should let Ishmael have any business playing this frame. It could as well be the quickest finished of the 19 that will have been played by the end of the next minute or so. That one will not be exactly very good play. Should have played red to the center. Still can recover. But to the corner pocket top left with a little backspin off the cushion. Good recovery from the sharpshooter. Another shot. Same skill. Less energy. The rest is a formality. By break and finish, the Ugandan sharpshooter finishes off frame number 19 and leads again in the match. The viewers, it is 9 and KASOZI 10 as we head into the half-time interval of the match. Frame number 20 to be broken by the South Africans. Nathan Mugisha is asking if there is a next money match. You are already hungry for another money match. This one is not done. Nathan, come on. The city submitted monies to play with Saif Ahmed of Tanzania, but the Tanzanians wanted to play at Mchana today. But as per the program, play at Mchana is scheduled for tomorrow. Maybe that game will be coming tomorrow, but confirmation that tomorrow we shall be having Ishmael versus Abdallah Hussein rematch at Mchana Papa Grill. By the way, it is some distance, about 25 to 30 kilometers west of where we are. Ishmael gets to break again and puts red and yellow again and wants to go for apple again. Clearly apple, clearly the yellows. Arrested 21 as we play frame number 20. When it is done, I will be telling you that we are at the halfway point of the match, which is quite a juicy match, guys. 10-9. Q Masters 10. Jamlock 9. Tanzania 10. South Africa 9. Uganda 10. Zimbabwe 9. They represent a lot, both of these players. And they now clearly divide the African fraternity almost equally in terms of support base. Of course, South Africa and Kenya and Zimbabwe supporting Ishmael, Tanzania and Uganda supporting KASOZI for the obvious reason, as Ishmael will be going for yet another, but will be denying himself the easiest possible cue ball. The yellow that is further from the cue ball is the one he will be playing first to the corner pocket top left and with the backspin, throwing the cue ball backwards but with right motion such that he can put the last yellow on the table to the center pocket on the left. But I doubt the shot is right, because the passage of the second yellow to the center pocket could be blocked by the black, but maybe it can pass because it is the shot that Ishmael plays. At the end of the day, the South African recovers. The cut between white and yellow would suggest that the cue ball is lost from Ishmael. If he plays yellow into the side pocket, may have to play with power pass the cable of the top cushion. It affects his ability to pot. It also affects his ability to equalize. It gives KASOZI a chance to take a 2-frame lead for the very first time in the match. Guys, the first 10 frames had Ishmael as a clear better player. The next 10 are having KASOZI as a much better player. He's a guy on a mission, having left home 1 month ago plus, has been resident in Dar es Salaam, having to play many matches, some of which ended in controversy. This one will not be having any controversy. It could have a player from Kampala, also from Dar es Salaam, winning this ongoing frame by putting out the last red on the table to the corner pocket bottom left. The cable to move just around the middle of the table with backspin. The rest is a formality. He's really thinking well. He's acting well. He's queuing well. He's leading better. 11 for Joseph KASOZI, 9 for Ishmael MTHETHWA. The players will not be having a halftime break. They just want to go at each other. Frame number 21 to be broken by KASOZI. The last 30 minutes are seeing KASOZI shooting like he's possessed outside Ugandan soil. The last time I saw him playing this good was in the Patriot Sport tournament when he took both lives in the respective semi-finals. He was so fatigued to perform. He won one semi-final against, who was it? Mazambani, then lost the other. But he's winning this ongoing frame. His lead is growing bigger. The likelihood of him walking away with $2,000 is becoming even bigger as he is now rolling black against the rail to the corner pocket bottom left. The Ugandan sharpshooter is demonstrating exactly how he became ranked first by the polar session of Uganda. There goes his lead. Bigger and better. 12 frames for KASOZI after 21 and 9 for Ishmael. Emma Doctor saying this man, KJ, perhaps referring to KASOZI Joseph, Justice Kato. But Kaseva, whatever KASOZI is now touching is seemingly turning into gold. Will he put and play the key ball into the black or the yellow cross to the black? It could be a tricky situation. What he'll be doing for the yellow cross to the black. Plays the key ball round red, round yellow. This is very good queuing. The guy is clearly shooting as though he's possessed. Now having to put black to the corner pocket bottom right for what will be, I think, a 5th frame. He will be winning and all 5 in a row. Shoots it hard, shoots it in, and pulls further away. Now starting to make himself some kind of favorite for the victory. After starting relatively poor, now playing much better. Joseph KASOZI 13, Ishmael MTHETHWA 9. Forward fans, thank you for watching. Following a leg of Ishmael saying yesterday's wound is starting to itch. Ishmael is the diehard. Believe you me, win or lose, he will play tomorrow. That one is in no doubt. Chintu Jovan, you say his heel means business. By the way, a heel is direct translation in Kasozi's local lingua Luganda. Kasozi means a hill. So the bigger hill that is called Lusozi, that is mountain. 39 as the break is a scratch from Kasozi for Ishmael, a chance to try fighting hard. Of course, one player against whom you lead and you can never say that you are home and dry is Ishmael. Until you put the last black, you cannot say that you're beating him. He is such a fighter. Fitz Desire, so you are the only Zimbabwean supporting Uganda, all right? The Zimbabweans, I know, will be supporting their boy Ishmael. Emma Doctor, thank you for watching. Philemon Sawayama. You want Ishmael to lose because he talks too much? No, Ishmael is such a vibe. He's being very verbal. He's so good for Paul. It's very promotion. Every time he talks big, he talks himself big before and after games. It keeps us yearning for more and more and more and more. That's why he has been a very good star of the movie that is happening in Kenya. He has played that role exceptionally well. If I were to add one of the players that are in Kenya now, that player would be Ishmael. That is win or lose. Wycliffe Kiplangat saying Kasozi is confidently taking this one because he's on fire. All right, let's see where it goes. Patrick Mwikalo, you say no need for a break today. Yes, I like it for the fact that the players are fit, playing 22 frames and none of them wants to leave the playing area. Match fitness. Of course, Kasozi has been very active, and of late, Ishmael has been even more active. And how could he activate a frame to win here? Again, he misses. Somehow. Kasozi gets back a chance to play. A tempting shot if you look at the yellow close to the white. If he plays it by backspin, the cue ball could be played into the two reds near the corner pocket bottom right. $39, frame number 23 will be just hanging in the balance. We could as well play different yellow instead, okay? But has a dead ball. The yellow closest to the bottom right of the screen. Yes, as he plays, he will be having that yellow in mind. Maybe this is the opportunity. Play with the top spin, play the cue ball into the bottom right of the table. That's what he's doing. Plays it into the yellow, plays it a little bit to some distance. Now, there are some kind of solutions that could happen here. Will he do the same stuff again? Play the cue ball into the yellow. There goes the shot. This time round, he's off target. Pulse. Ishmael has already said. And Ishmael celebrates even before playing his first shot. Of course, Kasozi knows that he has played his last shot of the frame. He had about 3 trials. He played relatively well, trying to open up that situation, but just not well enough. The chances for Ishmael to take the frame to win what will be his first out of 6. Will be playing either of the reds, either of them portable with ease. That's why it took somewhat too much time contemplating between each shot is to play first, but he'll be okay as long as he rolls the remaining red on the table to the corner pocket bottom left. Cue ball remaining just around the same area where there is the red. Oh no, I cannot believe my eyes. I've never seen Ishmael miss a ball that is supposed to be potted with all that kind of ease, all the space, the whole pocket, and all the time to himself, and yet he's not doing what he's supposed to be doing. Of the two players, what Ishmael needs is, in my opinion, now is timeout, because Kasozi could be winning another here. How good will the cue ball be? It is very good. Every mistake being punished by Ishmael, every chance being taken by Kasozi. Another has been won by the Ugandan. 23 frames played, Kasozi 14 and Ishmael 9-21. It is now 14 frames to 10, dear viewers. For the first time in 7 frames, Ishmael has finally remembered how to win a frame. Maybe this is going to inspire him to mount a comeback. Very, very possible that he can. Of course, yes, he can. How can Kasozi react? Hits them hard balls, but hits them dry. Another chance for Ishmael. Coming, standing, looking to think very fast. Wants to take another away. Quick. Needs. The South African is seemingly winning a second frame in a row for the first time in quite a long while, and is playing under danger. Kasozi needs to win 7. Ishmael needs to win 11. out of 18. This one has to be the first of 11. Surely it has to be. A little backspin. He guided the cue ball so well, has to do the same exact thing, has to avoid contact between white and any of KASOZI's reds off the right cushion. Movement is so good, power balance and skill even better. The South African team is taking this one with one visit of the table just after a dry break by KASOZI. Joseph KASOZI 10, Ishmael MTHETHWA 14. Sorry, KASOZI is on 14 and Ishmael on 11, and I believe it is the first time in the match it has taken the whole of 25 frames for either of these players to request for timeout. And the live stream will remain on, but commentary shall resume upon the return of KASOZI in the next 3 minutes. In the meantime, guys, it is 11 frames to 14. Now these two guys have been having these different spells in which one player wins consecutive frames. That has simply been the nature of this match. If you remember, Ishmael won many frames in a row at the start, then KASOZI won a few, then Ishmael won a few, then KASOZI won 7 frames in a row, and most of them single visit clearances. That is why he has been leading so big. It's not just the media crew that is not so comfortable with too loud music. It's the players as well. That was a complaint from Joseph KASOZI to the DJ to play it cool, play it low, give him ample time to concentrate on play. 14 frames. Ishmael has just won 3 in a row and has gotten himself completely back in business. Race to 21. Every time either of these players does come on the table, and the beauty of the level of play of this match is that they just want to take down the frame. Now, how good will KASOZI come in this one? He gets to cross the table, playing yellow's suspect position of the cue ball for KASOZI. Seemingly wants to go for the bank. Hot yellow to the side pocket on the right. He looks in. No, it's not. I want to think that Ishmael will now slow down this frame in terms of their offensive side of the play. You think the players are at pretty much equal measure. They can take each other on fairly well on the offensive side of the game. Tactically, I have a feeling that Ishmael could be a little superior. KASOZI at it again. He needs 1 or 2 big shots. There's a situation at the corner pocket top left where there are 2 yellows of KASOZI, having Ishmael's red in between. KASOZI wanted to play yellow off red. He missed out on the red entirely and missed out on the chance not only to pot but also occupy the corner pocket to play it with his ball. Ishmael as well wanting to play red into red, perhaps red into yellow, and has gotten to pot but with no intention to pot. He has to think and think and think because he has 2 dead balls. That is the reds close to the whites. Will want to play not to pot, of course not to pot, off the cushion into the red. Packs the corner pocket with the red. KASOZI may as well want to play yellow by rail drive to the corner pocket bottom right. Maybe play yellow into the 2 yellows close to the corner pocket. He gets to pot 1. I'm not so certain he intended to do so. Tempting shot here is to play bank. The yellow he's looking at with the right cushion into the 2 yellows that are close to each other. Alternatively, he's opting to play defense. The 2 players seem to be having some kind of verbal disagreement, as though when Ishmael was coming to inspect what KASOZI was doing to ensure that he fouled or not, KASOZI said, "Don't look at me playing, you are affecting my concentration, let the umpire do his work." Then Ishmael said, "I have a right to." Of course, it can be sometimes dramatic. It is just understandable in my opinion. $2,000 is not little money. What can you do with that money when you get it? And have you ever gotten it simply by playing a game for 3 hours? That's exactly what one of these guys will be subject to now. There has been a shot where Ishmael has now taken full control of the corner pocket by occupying his ball in front of 2 of KASOZI's yellows. What can KASOZI do? Is it to play away one of his reds? The umpire is rolling loss of frame for KASOZI, having played intentional fouling. He played Ishmael's red, perhaps direct. Loss of frame is seemingly in order. In this case, the umpire has the prerogative to determine whether the foul was deliberate or not. whether the player may have forgotten their own color, but sometimes it's very difficult to convince any umpire. He played the wrong ball. He clearly aimed for the wrong ball. Umpire Dante rules loss of frame. Ishmael 13 and Kasozi 14, rest to 21. There have been a few times where the network has misbehaved a bit. My promise to you is that every time it does happen, I have the few solutions, switching between networks, switching between gadgets. Every time it is done, you see the picture having the same clear resolution that it did have before. There is the same clear and exact playing pattern that Ishmael is maintaining. This is the guy that was 5 frames down about 15 minutes ago. The same guy is on the verge of leveling up scores in the match for some reason. Not for nothing, he's called the diehard. You defeat him only after putting the last block of the match. Before then, it is still game on, it is still short time. He was 14 frames to 9 down. As we speak now, it is 14 frames to 14. That has been the 5th frame won in a row by the South African team. It is Ishmael 14, Kasozi 14. Our race to 21 is now officially a race to 7. Also, James, I think it is now clear. You're watching resolution. You could as well watch with higher video resolution. You have the best possible video that you'll watch. 14 all, guys, but the scores for Kasozi are on the left in red. The scores for Ish are on the right in green. Rest 21 Ringo Pool Arena. You say I'm using Airtel network. I'm not using Airtel network. I'm using Safaricom, and I'm told it's the best in Nairobi. Sometimes I use direct data. Sometimes I use personal hotspot. Sometimes external Wi-Fi. That's what I flip between to ensure that when it slows down, I get it back on time. 2 minutes time out for Ishmael. Kasozi 14 and Ishmael 14. As play resumes, the break is Kasozi's. Looks dry again. Is it? No, it is not. He actually got to sink in 1 yellow. He will not be very happy with the split of the balls because of the pile up of 4 reds having a yellow in between. It's the reason perhaps he's going for reds, although he potted yellow on the break. I'm not so certain he'll want to break and finish unless he gets to play a big shot here, pot, and then create a split of the balls. That is most especially the reds. The red close to white, maybe with a sharp cut, could go into the side pocket on the right. That is quite unlikely because of its level of difficulty. And he has nowhere to hide. His lead has been thrown into thin air by Ishmael. Clearly, Kasozi doesn't even know what just hit him. He was 20 minutes ago wearing a very confident face. He actually won 7 frames, I think. In those 7 frames, it's perhaps only twice that he missed a ball. He was just clearing everything. Since then, it has been Ishmael doing exactly that. And for Ishmael, at this very venue, I think he has only won once out of about 6 money matches he has played here in the last 2 weeks. Most of his very good performances have been at Mchana. Here, not really. but you're watching play happening on a very, very, very fine pool table. It not only looks good, it just makes playing pool a pure joy. If you ever get some money, buy an Optima table. And I'm not just trying to advertise something, but quality is quality. When you play on target, it goes in. When you play a little off target, it will not. And has very good cushion bounce. And if you have very good cue ball and object balls, you don't have to use too much power playing. Things just happen naturally. Report of the yellow has not been natural for Kasozi. It goes down as a foul. As a chance for Ishmael to lead for the very first time in the last 30 minutes. He's playing the yellows. Hopefully for him to play one big free shot, clear the table, clear the yellows, make them all positioned well, and then make a clearance that will take him to 15. A maximum of 13 frames to play. Each of the players, Kasozi and Ishmael, needing to win 7 to claim the 2,000 US dollars. If Kasozi wins the match, it is for himself, for Q Masters, for Uganda, for Tanzania. If Ishmael wins the match, it is for himself, for Jamlock, for South Africa, for Zimbabwe. There is some space between red and Joe for him to pass the yellow. He has done exactly that. A very good game reading, very good execution. Experience seems to be paying off for Ishmael. Of course, he's the more experienced player. Kasozi is very experienced as well, but by the time Ishmael was a top player, a top continental player, Kasozi was only a talented young boy in the streets of Kampala, but not anywhere near Ishmael's levels at the time. And Ishmael did make a tour of Uganda. He was the first non-Ugandan player to make a tour of that country. In the year that was 2015. Kasozi was already playing competitive pool. He couldn't even dare play a match with then the giant of African pool. Of course, other players, most especially from South Africa, got to tour the country, taking on the inspiration from Ishmael, the likes of Spo Gumete, Aiden Joseph, Rivaldo Givens, Jeremiah Naito, and non-South African players, Eshka and Malova, Abdallah, amongst others, as Ishmael now grabs the lead from Kasozi. 12 frames left to play. It is Ishmael 15 and Kasozi 14. Thank you for watching, guys. Keep watching, keep liking, keep sharing, keep the spirit of African pool alive. This is frame number 30. It will mark the end of the third quarter. Thereafter, we shall have 10 more to play. And if need be, there will be an 11th. That one can only come when it is a decider, when the scores are 20 frames apiece. Some of the revealers are enjoying a little bit of the drinking around the place, and umpire Dante has been in class, not permitting them to walk past the arena, walk past the camera, as KASOZI will want to walk past Ishmael in this one. That was a little cover of the cue ball round, one red to find another. Even then, it is not enough. Even then, Ishmael has a chance. Even then, he could be winning yet another frame. And I know that majority of the Kenyans will be saying, come on, Ishmael. Majority of the Tanzanians will be saying, come on, KASOZI. These two are really becoming such hunters, they are called. It is organized professional gambling, ladies and gentlemen. These are not official competitions, but on the other side of the game, they are official organized money matches, with each player having their own management team that does take money, which is winner takes all. And then the fight resumes the following day. Special thanks to Q Masters Management for watching this one from perhaps Dar es Salaam or Arusha, or all over the place where the Q Masters branches are. Also special thanks to Jamlock and Mchana for taking good care of Ishmael, who is now some kind of Kenyan. He enjoys Kenyan food. He's also becoming some Kenyan by learning the Swahili language, and does not look even to want to go back home to South Africa. He is relatively comfortable. Even the level of play shows how comfortable he has now. This one is quite tricky. He may have to play the cue ball as he puts yellow to the corner pocket left. He plays the cue ball extremely rightwards. Maybe play it into the black or something. He goes right. The movement of the cue ball, the balance of the power, the pot of the yellow was all a class act for Ishmael, who will now want to put both yellow and black to the same corner pocket bottom left to record a 16th out of 30. And for this frame, the rest is a formality. After Ishmael starting so well in between the match, KASOZI outplaying him at the business end. The South African is the more dominant figure. He looks more hungry, he looks more determined. He finishing better. He's needing fewer to take victory home. It's now Ishmael 16 and KASOZI 14, rest to 21. What a number of consecutive frames Ishmael is winning. At one point, KASOZI made it 6 when he led by 14 frames to 9. Since then, Ishmael has won 7 in a row himself. Now he needs to win 5 KASOZI needs to win 7 out of the remaining 11. Arrest to 21 dear viewers, with the consequence of 2,000 US dollars, which was presented to myself by the management teams, that is Q-Masters 1,000 and Jamlock 1,000, giving me permission to give it to whoever is the first to 21. If Ishmael wins, wait for the big celebration. KASOZI likes to take his wins. He just enjoys his victories and has a lot of happiness, but just keeps it cool. Ishmael is one of the biggest vibes over any player on the African continent. That's why he's very likable. Will the combination go in? Yes, it does. An opening for KASOZI to take the frame, maybe play yellow off black, yellow into black. Doesn't pot, but very effective. In 1 split second, a bad looking frame for KASOZI. In the next split second, a good looking frame for the same player. That's why top players against each other, always anything can happen. Always keep your eyes on the screen. Always it can go either way. KASOZI snookered, playing off cushion, finds the yellow, doesn't pot. Ishmael will want to play safe here. If you look at the red, which is leftwards of them all, he may play it just behind the yellow, not to put the yellow, but to play defense just like that. I don't think it will work so much. He has played a little too much power, so they can pass the cue ball to put the yellow. Anyways, I will be playing the will be bad of the 3 yellows now, seemingly, however, choosing the yellow that is upwards of them all and playing it with no intention to put it. Our location, Jamlock Sports Bar. The South African Ishmael MTHETHWA having a 16 frames to 14 lead against the Ugandan Joseph KASOZI, with the 2 shooters racing to 21 for 2,000 US dollars. Once again, sorry to our usual Facebook lovers. Today there has been no Facebook stream because that music in the background is not good on the internet, but it's even worse if the streaming platform is Facebook. Tomorrow it's going to be Abdallah Hussein rematching against Ishmael. The rest shall be 21 again. The venue shall be Mchana Pub and Grill in Nairobi. It's a different county from where we are. There's a lot of movement for the players, even more movement for the media team, but the guiding factor is passion. Now Ishmael is snookered perhaps totally. Will I want to find the red off the cushion with big spin on the cue ball, avoids one red, finds another red, and plays exactly as he may have wanted, but not exactly as he may have intended. Now KASOZI is going for it all. I'm not so certain as sight of the yellow, may play it off the cushion. The shot looks okay in my opinion, and has played it so well given the situation, given the pressure. Finishable frame, it is this one. A bounce of the cue ball off 2 cushions. He needs the cue ball towards the bottom right end of the table. He has to bounce it off the top and right cushion, then moves it rightwards off 2 cushions. That was the movement of the cue ball. There comes the sharpshooter. Very, 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 very good, especially under pressure. The pressure of 2,000 US dollars, the pressure of Ishmael, the pressure of the game. KASOZI wins a very hard fought frame and comes within 1 of Ishmael. Ladies and gentlemen, 31 frames played. KASOZI 15 and Ishmael 16. Guys, I'm now calling for predictions. Predictions. Who between KASOZI and Ishmael is taking this one home? Comment section predictions. But for frame number 32, maybe it is easily predictable that it could be won by Ishmael. But how good will the key ball be? I believe he's lost a little bit of the key ball. Does he have sight of the yellow that is upwards of the 3? Perhaps he has. If he puts it, which he does, he's taking down the frame. How fast they are queuing, how good they are playing, how entertaining the match is. It is irrespective of what will be the outcome of this match. It is already victory for African Pole. It is a very good advertisement for African Pole, this one. I've lost count of how many uppers we've had in this one, and I've lost count of who of the two is leading in terms of the upper score. But in terms of official scores, Ishmael is leading by 2. Coming closer to the end of the tunnel for Ishmael, seeing some light at the end of the tunnel, starting to smell the $2,000. He has just won a frame, which is the 17th, meaning he needs to win 4, while his opponent needs to win 6 out of the remaining 9. Ishmael 17 and KASOZI 15. David Kosasida thinks KASOZI will win 21-19. Okay. Or Tim Bryan thinks Ishmael is winning. All right. Sibandan Lala thinks Ishmael will win, but by 20. I'm not getting you. He can't win with 20. He can only win with 21. Dennis Twine, you think? Okay, KASOZI 21. And Ishmael, you are not telling me. Lucky Lewis thinks it will end 21-9 in favor of KASOZI. That means you think Ishmael can only win 2 more frames. That is bravery of a prediction. And here comes frame number 33. I want to believe that in the maximum of the next 30 minutes we shall have a winner, of course, because of the playing speed of both these players. Those 9 frames, 3 minutes per frame, and that's it. And the remaining 1 minute is perhaps for racking balls into 1 or 2 of the frames. KASOZI wants umpire Dante to have the rack as tight as possible, for KASOZI to hit the balls as powerful as possible, for the split to be as big as possible. The split looks okay. Black will go in. Black is sunk. The break is void. When that happens, the same player gets to break the same frame again. And that is whether they may have potted a ball or not, whether they may have swatched, whether the white went in as well, whether a ball jumped off the table or not. It does not matter. A void break is just a good break, but the same player gets to break the same frame with no score and 1 visit of the table. Please accept my apologies, dear viewers, for that little glitch of the internet. I believe that now you are okay. Whenever it does happen, I promise you it will not take a full minute. It will just happen for a few seconds, and that will be it. KASOZI cannot afford to let Ishmael have a 3-frame lead and then need to win just 3 to take the $2,000. It will be leaving very, very dangerously. Of course, KASOZI will somewhat be having revenge in mind. He lost a money match against Ishmael in Lusaka 18 months ago. This serves him as a chance to pay revenge, but most importantly, become $2,000 richer. Perhaps he could. The yellow close to the black will be a dead ball here. He'll play the key ball, maybe off the cushion into black, off the cushion, but doesn't even find the black. It's a shot that will go down as having been played poorly, to say the least. Ishmael will respond with a safety, a total safety it is. by the South African. The Ugandan has one yellow in full sight, but of course, trying to put it will not be an option here. He will want to limit Ishmael to having sight of only one red. Kasozi has used a little too much power. Ishmael has sight of yet another. The intention was for Kasozi was to force Ishmael to put the red pack at the corner pocket. He used too much power. He used too little time contemplating. He used too little time playing a shot that is supposed to be played with too much precision. The umpire confirms to Ishmael that the red he's playing is not frozen against the cushion, and Ishmael plays it with precision, and he's precise enough. 15-17. The South African is leading. The Ugandan fighting for what is a very, very important frame, and seems to be fighting okay. He has just played with the combination. I have to confess, I did not see that coming. Will he cut the yellow sharp? My goodness. He's going for it. He's believing in himself. He believes he can. Those were two amazing shots by the Ugandan sharpshooter. Perhaps he will want to play a black by rail drive, by sharp cut right against the cushion to the corner pocket top right. The other option is to bank the black to the corner pocket top left. The reason he's delaying is perhaps he has not yet made up his mind of which of the two shots he will have to play stand the best chance of putting the black. Seemingly going for a cut by rail drive to the corner pocket top right. Here he goes. It looks in. It looks in my opinion. Yes, it is. Joseph Kasozi wins a well-fought frame and comes back within one frame of Ishmael. The Ugandan on 16 and the South African Zim on 17. While there have been so many beautiful clearances in this match from both Ishmael and Kasozi, the last frame that has been won by Kasozi for me stands out tallest among them all. They were three perfectly executed shots. That was top-notch clearance from the Ugandan sharpshooter. It's not the first time he's having a tour, Kasozi. He had a tour of Zambia and Zimbabwe in November last year, playing many matches against the best players from both countries. In Zimbabwe, he won 2 and lost 2. Lost to Maluva and Pakanat, 1 against Blessing and Eshka. He also had 4 many matches in Tanzania earlier on this year, playing 4, winning 2, losing 1. The other ended prematurely. And the following week, he's now in Kenya. But in Kenya, Ishmael is giving him a relatively bloody nose. One big shot, one good shot could win Ishmael this frame if he puts the red, which is upwards of the 2, and then manipulates the cue ball well enough to put yet another. Because black is in space, he puts cue ball not that good, in my opinion, not really. The red is cuttable to the corner pocket bottom right, but the cue ball naturally is played into 2 of the yellows. He goes for the bank for that reason and misses the ball and misses it entirely. In my opinion, irrespective of the risk involved in the movement of the cue ball, he should have gone for the roll to ensure he puts the ball first. Banking can only be played when it is the only option. In my opinion, the South Africans' game reading in this instance becomes a little suspect. For Kasozi, this one will go down as a big opportunity to make it 17 frames apiece, to make this race for Ishmael snooker totally will want to play the cue ball off the top cushion, but with left spin, top cushion, left spin, misses red, foul. And I doubt that KASOZI will want to go for the frame now. He may want to snooker Ishmael once more. Maybe play the two yellows close to each other. Oops, he wants to go for it. He wants to play yellow close to red into the two yellows near the side pocket, have them all in space, then go for it. That is his playing style. He wins by offense, by attack. Sometimes when he loses that way. And he's the overwhelming favorite for victory of this ongoing frame, number 34, which if he does, then we shall have a maximum of 7 more frames where each of the shooters shall need to win 4 to take victory home. 4 yellows on the table, all of them palatable. The black palatable, the frame finishable. For KASOZI, the match equalizable. Here he comes. Surely he will. And if he doesn't win this frame, he realistically may have no business trying to win this match. While he goes for a clearance, he knows that it is already in the bag. For whatever reason, he can start with either of the two yellows that are having the cue ball in between. It is all okay. The ones to the side pocket will be played last. He's playing the cue ball well enough such that if he rolls the cue ball, it is natural for the second yellow to the same side pocket. Just like that, a little backspin will do because he will want to put black to the corner pocket, bottom left. For the cue ball just to move a little backwards in some kind of straight line, a little backwards. As little as that, the rest is a formality. After Joseph KASOZI losing 7 frames in a row, being down or no, that will go down as the miss of the match, maybe the miss of the entire tour. He became complacent. He assumed the black ball had already been potted even before it was played, and it could as well be the turning point of the match. Should Ishmael win the frame, it is one that could instill confidence out of KASOZI after coming so close to the equalizer, but not close enough. And Ishmael has, whether intentionally or not, been able to defend, play the cue ball leftwards, while KASOZI needs it rightwards. And I'm tempted to think that he intended that kind of cueing. I doubt it was a fluke or a safety. Because KASOZI has already done this, have a sharp cut of a ball at that same position to the corner pocket, bottom left. This time round, he's going for something of a snooker. Not style could punish him. Normally he punishes big and will be punishing big. This one to instill hope out of KASOZI and hope into Ishmael, the South African. Just like that, is regaining a 2-frame lead. KASOZI is talking to the management, but maybe the music, maybe noise or something, speaking to even his own fans that please keep it calm. The fight is still on. In the meantime, Ishmael 18 and KASOZI 16, race to 21. Once again, dear viewers, at the same time tomorrow, we shall have Ishmael rematching with Abdallah Hussein. I know that most of you will want to watch that game, most especially after Abdallah winning yesterday and what he said thereafter in a post-match interview. When Ishmael thought that Abdallah may want to run away after winning, Abdallah said, I'm not going to play against anybody else until Ishmael gives me 5 races. He also said he's here following Joseph KASOZI because KASOZI defeated him in Tanzania last month. Said he came to Kenya knowing that KASOZI is in Kenya, so Abdallah Hussein came to beat KASOZI here. He also said that should KASOZI win the match against him here in Kenya, he knows that KASOZI will be proceeding to Uganda. Abdallah Hussein said he will be following him there. But he also said that he wants to have a match with Ibra. So he's another of the film stars of the show. Now here comes KASOZI. I'm not so certain that will go down as a very good shot. In fact, realistically speaking, he has to put red to the corner pocket, bottom left, with a little backspin. The cue ball may have to go topwards, but in left direction. The center pocket port is a little suspect because it creates difficulty in manipulating the cue ball, and maybe he's not only trading in terms of the score, KASOZI is losing his pattern. There were 2 options. He played the wrong option and played the wrong option wrongly. Ishmael is having a very confident look on his face. He knows that, yes, I have my opponent exactly where I want him. 34 frames played. This one is the 35th, with 6 frames here as the maximum to go. The South African Ishmael needs to win half of them. That is 3. And there is every chance to think that this one will be the first of 3 that he needs. After KASOZI playing so poor, Ishmael responds with a very necessary safety, daring KASOZI to give him 1 chance to play, and then hopefully for him, make a clearance that will be his frame 1, number 19. And the crowd at Jamlock are starting to believe that one of their own, Ishmael, is on the verge of bringing victory home. But how good will the cue ball be for the last yellow, which is leftwards of the 2? Of course, has to be played with the backspin, but in left direction, has not to get snookered behind the red. The commentator's cast hits Ishmael when he was so close to winning frame number 37. He's even closer to losing the same frame. That's my opinion. And I want to beg your pardon, it is frame number 35. Maybe KASOZI is not yet done. Maybe he's getting a little bit too lucky here. Maybe Ishmael lost his pattern. I want to think he used not exactly the right skill, because the skill that he played, that is backspin, needed too much precision because of the position of the red right in front of yellow. KASOZI is observing and is agreeing that with Ishmael that he's snookered totally. Ishmael will want to snook as well, play the cue ball off cushion just behind the yellow, plays it into the yellow. He doesn't foul, but doesn't snooker either. It may have to be something big here for KASOZI, but he will just have to port and not get himself snookered. Plays the cue ball, I think, into the red. This is a little bit of criticism. I am not so certain he has full sight of the red. There he plays the red, and there he puts another top-notch clearance from the Ugandan. Sometimes he has looked suspect in the match, but some of his clearances have been bizarre, to say the very least. He wins another frame and wins it this time magically. Joseph Kasozi 17 and Ishmael MTHETHWA 18. I have a feeling the next 20 minutes will be just sufficient for us to have this match done to completion. For Joseph Kasozi, he will be starting off this frame on a free shot. He just plays the reds a little into space. I'm not so certain it's a free shot. He has played well enough. On another day, maybe you as a player may just have to play to open up the frame without being overly elaborative. Here he comes, playing for an equalizer, playing for the money. All of the 4 matches he played in Tanzania were very close. He won 2 matches against Abdallah Hussein, all of them going insiders, then lost to Amadeus, again in a decider. Then the match between himself and Steven Jackson in Tanzania was on the verge of going into a decider before it was ended prematurely. This one could go in a decider as well, because it is just about to be 18-18. What a match we have on our hands. Every time it looks like one player is going away with the match, the opponent has been showing exactly what they are made of. They have been showing signs of mounting comeback. And how many times is Kasozi coming back in the match? How many times has Ishmael himself come back in the same match? Potting yellow, cue ball being brought just around the middle of the table, wanting to pot black with the side pocket right. It is the side pocket left. With a little bit of difficulty, the black is still cuttable. For Joseph Kasozi, the frame is winnable. And now, equalizable. After 36 frames of play, ladies and gentlemen, it is Kasozi 18 and Ishmael 18. We now have 5 frames and a race to 3 for 2,000 US dollars. Whoever between Ishmael and Kasozi does win this ongoing frame will at least be having themselves a lead, a narrow lead, just a 1 frame lead, but a very critical lead. in this battle. Count of scores is 18-18. Too tense, too close, too tight, too unpredictable. South Africa 18, Uganda 18. In some kind of way, Kenya 18, Tanzania 18. Side of the game is the superior player. And just had a little discussion with him before the match. He came in confident that he will take the win, and he was the better player, at least for the first few frames. Started strong. Some of the clearances of KASOZI have been marvelous, to say the very least. A minimum of 3 clearances that I'll be sharing with you perhaps tomorrow morning on my socials, Break and Finish Live, and then that is Facebook and TikTok. How good will KASOZI be on this one? There goes the shot where he intended to play connection, didn't connect well enough, but was able to play his third red in space, rendering the frame finishable if he is to be given chance to play, with a chance to put at least one of his reds. Ishmael realizes so quickly that the yellow he's looking at, there is some space at the corner pocket between the jaw and the red for him to pass the yellow, open up the pocket, go for the frame. He's played and has spotted. I want to think he may have played off cushion and off red to create space for maybe another yellow, maybe the black when that time does come. But still finishable is the frame. Not only because of the position of the balls, but because the guy trying to finish them is Ishmael anyway. He has a lot of history with Ugandan players, but for this player, it is only the second money match that they are playing, and in a second country, but in the same region. He has 3 yellows on the table now, and the black, on the verge of taking his count of score to 19. I want to believe that he's playing yellow to the corner pocket bottom right first, the second yellow to the center pocket on the left, for what looks like his 19th clearance of the match. He will have to play perhaps with top spin for the cue ball to follow all the way. Maybe he wants to put black to the corner pocket bottom right where his fingers are right now. Top spin. Oops. He's realizing that space where he passed the yellow previously to pass the black as well to win the frame, and yes, he does. Well contemplated, well articulated, well finished by Ishmael, and he leads in terms of count of scores. It is Ishmael now 19 and KASOZI 18, race to 21. Here comes Ishmael, dear viewers. Should he win this frame in some kind of way, he will turn himself into an overwhelming favorite for a match where he needs to redeem himself after losing a pot of $3,000 yesterday. Maybe he's as well luckier. The raise of his hand in the face of his opponent was like, guy, that could have gone either way. I could have scratched You could easily have been having a free shot. It is Ishmael going for this one. Clearly finishable, clearly winnable. He is on the move. He wants to set up a 2-frame lead, in which case he will be conditioning KASOZI to winning 3 frames in a row, or else lose the match. Of course, he'll be putting 2 reds to respective side pockets, right and left, and then black to the corner pocket left at the bottom. He has all the arrogance, even when he could have rolled to tap the cue ball with power. He's vindicating himself because it is ending up in the same exact way that he would have wanted anyway. Ishmael versus the black, 420. Yes, it's in 38 frames played. Ishmael 20 and KASOZI 18. 3 frames to go. Joseph KASOZI must win them all, or else succumb to the loss of 2,000 US dollars and lose it now. Here we are. Joseph KASOZI will be in the know that if he misuses this, it will be his last action of the match. How good will the break be? He gets to put the cue ball. That one may have been his last shot of the match. Look at the speed that Ishmael uses getting off the seat, as if to grab 2,000 US dollars, as if to take a victory home, as if to redeem himself after loss of victory and money to dollar yesterday. In Kenya for a mission, born in Zimbabwe, raised in South Africa, representing South Africa, but in some kind of way representing Kenya as well. The mission is to outprove these players from East Africa, from Kenya, from Tanzania, from Uganda, that Ish is the man. So far he has gotten mixed performances, but he could be taking this one home. He has red touching the yellow. He has to put yellow to the corner pocket bottom right. He has to avoid playing red first. This one could be tight. He has to be on target, but as well has to avoid red, and misses the pot. For once, pressure gets the better of Die Hard. Joseph KASOZI regains the hope of winning a frame. That will perhaps reinstill his confidence trying to win the match. The hope of knowing that his opponent is human as well. The hope of knowing that Ishmael is as well beatable. Of course, the hope that may have been instilled by fellow Ugandans that have already gotten victories over Ishmael, 5 of them in the last 2 weeks. Twice by Dog City, once by Ibra, twice by Ian. And yes, Ishmael also won 4 matches against the Ugandans himself. KASOZI has to pot, the cue ball has to be okay. He doesn't pot, the cue ball isn't okay either. Sometime I think at the business end of the match, being elaborative can never ever be a solution, most especially given the position in which KASOZI is, where missing a frame almost misses him the match, the victory, and the money. On another day, he could have played not to pot, he could have played defense, but if he goes for attack, only if he is absolutely sure. For Ishmael, chance for victory, chance for glory, chance for redemption. And here he comes, wanting to put the 3 yellows close to each other, either now or later, but you'll be having the yellow in mind, the one that is parked at the corner pocket top left, because he only has little of it in sight. Most of it has its sight almost entirely occupied by KASOZI's red. He needs the cue ball at the extreme top end of the table. There he comes, pinpoint accuracy from the South African. Now the next shot he's playing will be very, very, very determinant. He has to avoid the red. He may have to play backspin. He also has to avoid snookering himself, because there is a red of KASOZI that could block the movement of the cue ball or get himself snookered. But Ishmael recovers. Now you can celebrate if you are supporting Ishmael from his home city of Bulawayo, or his adopted city of Johannesburg, or where he's living in Nairobi. Victory is home. Redemption for South Africa and for Zimbabwe. as Ishmael's second match against Kasozi ends in victory as much as the first. He will be cheering himself up big. Here comes the South African again. His boss, his sponsor Simba does congratulate him. And of course, that is who Ishmael is. Always vibrant, always happy, always celebrating, always fun to be with, both in victory and defeat. The match between Joseph Kasozi and Ishmael MTHETHWA, at the first time of asking in Kenya, but the second time of asking overall, ends in victory for Ishmael by 21 frames to 18. Diehard was the diehard. What do you think helped you to win today, which you did do well yesterday?
You know, complaining about the pace of the table, I said, you know what, let it go, just play. You win, you win. You lose, it's a game. I just had to play my game. Besides, yeah, the guy is a very good player. You know, he's finishing all the games also. But we'll see. I'm here. I'm still here.
Tomorrow and Sunday, you are rematching with Dula and with Kasozi. The pots could be bigger. The venue is different. What